Okay, so here's some examples of erase wash technique. I thought there was something over here. So what we're going to do is a drawing with pen and marker and scan it. Oh, I need to bring the scanner in here. So there's a pen and marker drawing. There's two colors of markers. There's a red and black, and the black ballpoint pen. And then we put a wash behind it. That's why we call it an erased wash. This is a wash where you use an airbrush or something and you lay in the background. And you kind of want to plan ahead. You see right through here, there's intentionally left a light area. And you'll see that that ends up being like a focus area or a place to put highlights. You could have a constant weight wash, or you could use the gradation tool, put a really smooth gradation. There's lots and lots of variations to the wash. You could even use lines or wide lines that overlap each other, but that's usually too busy for something like this. Some of you use those kind of lines on your final presentation background. Okay, so there's the wash. Now, next step is, well, I could have erased, but I put in the course there with the airbrush. And then I put in the sky core and ground core for the chrome. And then I erased out or added highlights. There's really not a lot of erasing on this one. There's one that came out of the Dutch sketchbook. You see just a simple wash put in the background. It was started with a pen and marker sketch. They erased off some of the wash right here in this highlight area. They erased off some of it here. They erased off some of it here. Some of it here. And this radius here. And they're done. It's actually a very fast technique that's very effective. And that's probably a better example than the one I just showed you, because the one I showed you didn't have much erasing. This has more erasing, and that's the proper way to do an erased wash. This was a student project from last semester or semester before. Another student. There's bad perspective there. This is not done on the computer. This is erase wash technique with marker and a little white pencil instead of erasing. Highlighter. Another one of those. This is an exploded view. This is in the Carl New sketchbook, but it's just black and white, and I put a blue wash over his black and white drawing, and then I erased out the light areas, and I went back and made it a little bit darker here and maybe a couple other places. It ends up being a very effective, quick erase wash exploded view. This is one of the sketchbooks. That's what I mean by a wash that's got hard edge brushes that overlap each other, but the opacity's been turned down so that you can see through one to another. This is a really nice drawing, and you can see, you know, erased here, erased here, erased here, erased here. Put another gray color on here and erased. Erased some of this here. I'm not asking you to do something this tight or this elaborate. This is pretty complex because of multiple colors and stuff. It's a really nice drawing, so I'm going to show you. I wish I had done it. This is another one out of the sketchbook. You can barely see the wash on the screen. It's more showing up on my computer.
I have a question.
Okay.
One of the students asked, I forgot the guy we were.
Phil.
Phil, about his, I guess, his way of doing it, his specialty. Are there some people who only specialize in washes or specialize?
I would say the answer is yes.
Is there
Yeah.
like a respectable way of doing it?
Yeah, and all of you will eventually develop your own favorite way of sketching. You know, one semester class where I'm trying to teach you pen, marker, and chalk and digital all in the same semester, which normally is 2 complete semesters in other schools. I'm asking you to just follow my technique.
Okay.
There's not time to explore other techniques, but when you get out of the class, by all means do it.
Okay.
And develop your own style. Yeah. Okay, so we're back to that. So I'll just do something real quick here, hopefully quick. It's 9 o'clock. You want me to do a demo or you want to go right to work?
Demo.
Put your background on a separate layer. Background meaning your wash. By your wash, I'm not talking about your clothes, I'm talking about a background. Okay, so I'm going to just use an airbrush, a big airbrush for my background, but maybe I'll show you a couple other kind of backgrounds you could use. That's really strong. Knock that down. Okay, so there's a wash background. You see how fast that was? Okay, so there's a background. My mouse is not big enough on the background, so it's the beauty of Photoshop. I can make that mouse bigger. Control T, Shift, make it bigger, move it down. Accept. It screwed up the background. Why did it do that? I've got to add another. This happens a lot. You guys know how to fix what, you see what the problem is? So there's a transparent, I'm working on a layer right above the background, and there's no white layer in between. So if I make a change, it exposes, it's transparent. So the way I deal with that is I put white layer in between, and that way, no matter what I do, that won't happen. This time it kind of doesn't matter because, it doesn't matter.
But when it prints out, it's fine, right?
You know why it's fine? Because the paper's white.
Yeah.
And the paper can't see that. I mean, the transparent area just goes through the paper, but it screws me up when I'm drawing to see that. So I always create a new layer, and I fill it with the white paint bucket. Now I'm going to turn the background layer back on, and I'm going to erase and add value. So I want to add value in this, get rid of that leaf brush though. I want to make this bottom area darker. So I select that using my freeform selection tool, which is very hard for you people that are using Wacom's.
It'll let the
Really?
layer
No,
under it
that's
should
good. Yeah, that's why it looks good, yeah.
That one looks really good, you thought up.
I'm doing this all in one layer now. I don't know what you guys are seeing. So I better erase something because it's supposed to be the erase wash technique. Knock the opacity of the eraser down. It's not erasing because it's not on that layer. So maybe I want to put a little raised edge around here so I can really erase that, make it look like it's sticking up a little bit. I don't know what you guys are seeing. Are you seeing anything happening there?
Yeah, you see the highlights and all that stuff.
And I want to make it look like it's recessed in the middle. Go back and put a little dark edge right here. And I want some highlights, so put some highlights on this. So that probably needs some more, well, I need a shadow too. Needs some more detail, but it gives you the idea. Too dark. Knock down the opacity and the flow. There's a little quickie erase wash technique. It looks better here.
Yeah, way better.
That's how we feel when we print our stuff
Okay, do it.